And that's how it all starts, folks. God bless it. It looks like everything's going wonderful tonight. Thank God. This is three's a charm, maybe, huh? Hey, Brent, maybe it was your doll yesterday. She wanted all your attention. Don't want to share you with us. You know, I will tell you this. I did some more cleansing on the doll last night as well, just to be sure. There's another round of, we'll see what the hell happens. But I don't know. I mean, is it the doll? I don't know. I mean, certainly interwebs and technologies can cause hell at any given time. Certainly throughout the course of the show, I've had plenty of those train wrecks. So, what? Snuffy Smith said, I seen Brent when he was about 11 years old up to about 23 running around the USA from South California all the way across to the east. I think you're thinking of Forrest Gump, Snuffy. I don't think that was me, but you never know. I like run to the bathroom and that's about it, buddy. So, but welcome everybody. It's Saturday and, looks like we're in business tonight, thank God. I just asked the hubby, said he sounded like a 2-year-old. What hubby said? Oh, okay. Gotcha, Karen. Good to see everybody as you guys are coming in. Yes, this is the third attempt using the same title, using the same thumbnail. 2 attempts last night that crashed horribly in leg hell, and I just had to shut it down. So I thought, well, we'll roll with it again tonight. And, I did a lot of work, a lot of testing, and it looks like we're good. You know, knock on wood, cross fingers, all that stuff. Say a prayer, bless yourself, hallelujah, om mani padme hum, whatever. Hopefully everything goes well for the rest of the journey tonight as we're diving into the portal. But it's great to see you all here. Hey, Barry Anderson, she wants you to read her bedtime story. You know, I didn't do it for my own kids. Why would I do it for her? No, I'm just kidding. No, I really wasn't much of a story time dad. I just talked to my kids a lot, but I never really sat and read them books too much. We just sat and talked a lot. So, all right, this is it. I'm not alone tonight by the grace of wonderful timing and his own love for his father. I am joined once again by the amazing Big Branch himself of my personal family tree, Mr. Sheldon Thomas. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yeah, you never read us any bedtime stories. You just said, all right, time to get the hell to bed. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm done with you, huh? It's bedtime, huh? No, I wasn't quite like that, but
No.
yeah, I think we had a lot of good times with you growing up, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot.
Better say that. God, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. We had a lot of fun. We've always had a lot of fun, all of us. But we are back for another episode here. Thanks for coming back on, Sheldon. I appreciate you making Saturday work. Tex was busy. Otherwise, Tex would have been here, but he had other engagements with Mrs. Tex. So I'm glad you were able to come in and fill in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, yesterday kind of got botched, so, wanted to make up for that today.
Yeah. Yesterday was definitely a trial of patience and grace. I did survive though. I just figured we'd kill it last night and just let's come back at it fresh rather than having. I still got to go back and delete those fragments from last night, but anyway, whatever.
That's fine.
This is the thing, and I'm probably preaching to the choir for a lot of you guys out there as you're all part of the internet community, but we're at the whims of the internet flows, as it were, and sometimes things, 99% of the time, things flow amazingly and things go great, and it's really a top end result, but every once in a while, just there's a wrench in the works, there's ghosts in the machine, or any number of things, and things go sideways. And last night that was definitely the case. So, but I'm glad everything's working tonight. We have a lot to get to. As always, we're going to get to the news here in moments, and we are then going to get to the Discord question of the week, and then we'll get to some other stuff. Of course, the Cryptid Corner will fit in somewhere in this mix, but we'll get to all of it. as soon as we can. We all understand internet is wonky at times. Mickey says, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't we do some quick shout outs for at least the YouTube audience, Sheldon? I don't know how many are in yet. I see Jill Decker's over in Facebook, as is Barry Anderson so far.
Nice.
Those are the Facebook pop-ups I've seen. I haven't seen anybody coming in from X, which is fine. But if anybody's over on X, thank you for watching and being a part of it. And as for Twitch as well, it's great to have you guys with us. If you're tuning in, please feel free to follow and come back. We do these live streams every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So it's wonderful to have you here. And over on Rumble, we've got HB Girl to You is over there. And that's Lucky Gypsies. Sunshine Sharon is over there, as is Dog Digger and Barbara Morris. So I haven't seen Justin Goodearth come in, but he kind of has, he comes in when he can. So that's those crowds. Who's in the YouTube, Sheldon?
Well, let's see what we got here today. If you want to shout out, now's the time to chat. But for now, we have Joshua Orban Castro, BJ LaPierre, author and illustrator, Bogarts, Deb Varner, Edith Gomez, Eric Frey, Happy Dog Lady, Karen Alberding, Lake Damon, Mickey G, Owl 13, you're here, Rachel's here, Snuffy Smith's here, Southern Belle Bigfoot, and Werewolf 5674.
Well, it's great to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Awesome to have all of you here, and to those of you who are coming into the door as we speak and throughout the course of the show, of course, welcome. It's great to have you here. And please let other people know about the shows. Remember, you can go to the link in the description and find the gear and get portal gear, which, if you want to help support the show, it's a great way to do it. There is also a Patreon in development. I actually have a few patrons already, which is kind of fun, but I really haven't. I got some video projects that I'm working on to put up over in Patreon that are very exclusive and will be exclusive for the Patreon crowd. And so there'll be several things coming into that sphere soon. I know it's not possible for everybody to contribute in a monetary way, but if you want to help out the show, one of the greatest things you can do is leave likes. If you're watching a stream when it's not live, leave a comment on the streams, and to share it. If you can do all those three things, won't cost you a dime, and it helps us a bunch. So all these are ways to help if you would or could, or if you please. So hello to Portal Mom. How you doing? Nina's in here. Yep, she's here. It's great to see her showing up for the live streams again. She figured it out, which is good. I'm glad she did.
Wait, what's her? Oh, there's her. Oh, I see her now. Okay.
I see her. There she is. Yeah. Yep, she's there. So, anyway, what else? Anything else, Sheldon? Am I forgetting anything?
No, I think the only thing left is just to dive right into the news.
You're such a natural. All right. Very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. It's time for the news. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Paranormal Portal news. As always, this is our attempt to bring you up to speed and what's going on in the world. Maybe some of it's paranormal, maybe some of it's interesting, maybe some of it's bizarre and absolutely stupid, and some of it is just fascinating. And so hopefully you find some merit in it. Snuffy Smith says, can you guys remember when I used to live with John Stamos? Snuffy, you are in a whole different place. I don't know what's going on over at Snuffy's house, but I want some too. I don't know what's going on with Snuffy, but you're having a whole different kind of conversation there, brother. I don't know. All right. Anyway, we'll let Snuffy have fun over there. We're going to get to the news, And we have several articles to get to. Throughout the course of the shows, ladies and gentlemen, we utilize a lot of different sites. And I realize I say this every show, but I mean it every show. And it's so important that you guys help to acknowledge and help promote these sites. These sites are doing an incredible job, and I love them all. And I don't want to see them go anywhere. I mean, they're just so well done, so professionally updated and current, and just exceptional. So please visit these sites. Please give them your love, because your traffic equals revenue. So
yep.
There we have it. And the first site we're going to be getting to is kind of the cornerstone of the Paranormal Portal news. I remember I read that one, didn't I? Yeah, I did read this one. I forgot to close it. All right. We're going to go to the metaphysics and psychology section of unexplained-mysteries.com. This is an incredible site, and I've loved this site for a long time, and it's really been the mainstay for the news. But this is, again, from the metaphysics and psychology files of unexplained-mysteries.com. And I should bring you back up, Sheldon. Hold on.
I am up.
No, you were, but you won't be in a second, but you will in a second. There you are.
Okay.
Now you're back. TikTok astrologer arrested in Myanmar for predicting another earthquake.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, somebody predicted an earthquake, so they went, no, you go to jail. Like, I don't know if they think like this astrologer's making it happen or what, but that seems like a pretty harsh sentence. I'm not sure what the laws are there, though. Some places have like really archaic laws about divination and stuff like that. Like they're living in a whole different time. You know, when, you know, there were times like the Salem witch trials in America and stuff, where any kind of mysticism at all was devil, evil, horrible. And so there's some parts of the world that still observe traditions like that. So I don't know if that's Myanmar or not, but let's read the article. Known on social media as John Moe, the Myanmar cousin to John Doe, maybe. The man had predicted a new earthquake just weeks after the last one. Making predictions about future can land you in hot water, as evidenced recently by the arrest of a TikTok astrologer who had predicted that an earthquake would hit Myanmar on April 21st. He had made the prediction on April 9th, just 2 weeks after a major quake killed 3,500 people in the region, and his video managed to rack up over 3 million views on the clip-sharing platform. In it, he claimed that an earthquake would hit every city in Myanmar and told people to take important things with you and run away from buildings during the shaking. Many people took his warning seriously, which caused considerable problems for local authorities. In the end, Mo was arrested for posting false statements with the intention of causing public panic. Okay, so maybe it's just more about, yeah, you can make predictions, but don't give guidance. Because, yeah, I mean, people panic.
Yeah.
His account, yeah, exactly. His account, which had 300,000 followers, has since become defunct. Ooh, he got the hammer. He got the band hammer in a lot of ways. Of course, no earthquake actually occurred April 21st, emphasizing that Mo's prediction wasn't exactly accurate. It also raises questions about the morality and legality of astrological predictions in general. Well, people can believe what they want. Hell, you can make toast to divine a future if you want. The consensus among experts is that earthquakes are currently impossible to accurately predict. Yeah, clearly. But there you have it. So what do you think? Do you think it should be punishable? I mean, if he had 3 million people paying attention to him and actually doing it, like causing havoc and stuff, I don't know. What do you think? Is that,
I don't know.
Is that a legal liability, or is it kind of a speech, you know, you can say whatever you want kind of thing, or where do you fall in this, Sheldon?
I mean, I'm American, so I mean, I believe in free speech, so yeah. I'm always gonna defer to like that shouldn't be punishable. But as far as how they look at it, I could see maybe them thinking like, well, we don't want someone spreading panic. We don't want someone telling people what to do and that to abandon this and do that. So I can kind of see that side, but I lean towards the free speech just because I do believe in that. I believe in that.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very true. And I think you're right. I think, people can say whatever they want. And I think it speaks more to maybe our modern world if some influencer could just tell people something, and if they blindly follow that, then they've got bigger issues anyway.
Yeah.
Whether they're an astrologer or they're just a makeup guru or whatever, who knows? But anytime anybody tells you what to do, you still got to do your own thing. You got to look into it yourself. You got to, whether it's religious, whether it's medical, whether it's whatever, you got to check into things, I guess. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. So,
but he was right though. That's the thing. It's
no,
like,
he
if
wasn't.
he was wrong and caused panic,
he was wrong. He predicted this 2 weeks after a major earthquake, that there would be another one on the 21st, and the other one never happened. But people were panicking and fleeing, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess I misinterpreted that part in my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that does change the dynamic a little bit for what I was going to say. I was going to say, well, if you were wrong and you caused a bunch of panic and a bunch of problems, then sure, maybe they have a case. But okay, that happened, so they have a case.
That's exactly what they have a case for.
Okay.
Fair enough. I mean, but again, if you're figuring out your worldview based on what anybody on the internet or interwebs or media tells you, you probably need to slow down and examine your life, because most of these people are, don't have a clue. They don't have any more clue than we do. Kind of like there's no experts in any of this paranormal stuff, but there's people who tell you all day long what Bigfoot is, what Bigfoot isn't, what UFOs are, what they aren't. And you'll get all kinds of takes on it, but still, you got to do your own thing. You got to come to your own conclusions. You can certainly use those pieces of information or suggestion as merit to look into it and see if it works for you, and you want to get on that bus. Okay. But anyway, there you go.
The absolute statements. Yeah, I have a problem with.
Yeah, so I mean, it's certainly true in politics. It's certainly true in socioeconomic issues. It's certainly true in every facet of our lives that we are, unfortunately, maybe influenced or maybe even propagandized to quite a bit. And you still got to find your own truth.
Yep.
Don't look at the medias for your worldview. All right. Let's get the next article, because that one was so much fun. I think we'll get into another one.
Yes.
And this one is: firm announces plan to create world's first Tyrannosaurus Rex leather. Sheldon?
Hold up. Before we do that, I completely forgot. We got to thank Unknown for the 20th month membership.
Oh, he remembered. God bless you for remembering. Appreciate it. And Elaine.
And Elaine.
And Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Unknown. Did you ever know that you're my heroes? Sorry.
I don't know what song that was.
The wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. No?
It's familiar. It's really familiar.
It's from there's a movie, some Bette Midler movie, and that was, I think, a song on there. It was a real big thing back long before you were probably born, but anyway.
That explains it.
It explains why you don't know it. All right, so let's get to this article. What about T-Rex leather? What do you think of that? Are they just going to, and I haven't read this, so I don't know. It sounds like they're going to bioengineer just the tissue somehow and make leather from it. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it, to have a T-Rex leather jacket?
I mean, that'd be pretty cool, but, like, why stop there? Just go all the way at that point. I mean, you may as well just make the whole thing.
Well, maybe they can't. Maybe they do. Maybe they do have some skin genome, and they can biomechanically recreate it. I can't imagine what the price tag of that would be like, because just leather or buckskin or buffalo hides are incredibly expensive. It's incredibly expensive. So,
plus, I mean, as far as I heard, I could be wrong, but I believe that I read/heard on a video that T-Rexes couldn't live today because of our oxygen levels are way lower than they were used to be back then.
That was a discussion we had here on the show a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up again.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was engineered differently, maybe there's a way they could tweak the genome to make that happen. It's a big organism, but we do have blue whales. We do have. It's just that if you took something that was conditioned to live in 300 million years ago, and suddenly planted in our world, it would fall dead in no time because the oxygen variables are so different, the gases and what's present in our atmosphere. So, we do have macroorganisms like that currently in the form of like whales and other things that are surviving in this oxygen density, and so I think it's possible they could still be brought into existence here, but it couldn't be like a time warp. Like people seeing pterodactyls. That was the first thing I think. It's like, well, if they're seeing pterodactyls, then if they came through a portal, they would probably fall unconscious within a very short period of time, because they just couldn't go from that level, that percentage of oxygen, to our percentage of oxygen, which is much, much, much lower than what it was hundreds of millions of years ago. So, but let's see what this says. I'm kind of curious because that it's going to be like designer bags will be like, or super designer exclusive materials. Somebody's trying to make themselves into a new Prada or, Dolce Gabbana here. Because if you can use T-Rex skin or leather, I mean, that would have to command a premium price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your handbag made out of? Tyrannosaurus.
That'd be awesome.
All right. In an unexpected twist on efforts to de-extinct prehistoric animals, one firm is seeking to create a unique new type of material. When John Hammond opened the doors to Jurassic Park, he may have missed the trick in failing to realize that the skin of deceased dinosaurs could be used to make some very expensive leather. Boom, there it is. Now, though, international marketing firm VML is planning to skip the whole resurrecting the dinosaurs parts of the equation and instead going straight to manufacturing leather created using dinosaur DNA. In a press release, the firm stated that it, alongside several other partner firms, was making a high-quality alternative to traditional leather that's cruelty-free and eco-friendly. It's just magical. It's magical. To achieve this, the team will use a fragment of collagen that was found in a T-Rex fossil back in 1988 in Montana as a blueprint for next-generation lab-cultivated materials. The leather itself is created using a technique that allows cells to create their own natural structure, resulting in a material that is structurally identical to traditional leather. So, could we one day see T-Rex leather seats in cars and T-Rex leather handbags? There it is. Perhaps, but the jury will be out on exactly how much of it actually comes from a T-Rex. Well, yeah, I mean...
This is crazy.
Right? I know. I'm just saying. It's interesting, isn't it?
What a time we live in. My Lord, what a time we live in.
Yeah, it is pretty true, isn't it?
Jeez.
I mean, when you think, what is possible?
Like, we're talking about, like, making a material that would have been impossible. Like, it's I don't want to take this stuff for granted because this is crazy. Yeah. You tell someone this, like, 50 years ago, like...
Yeah,
we're in the future.
Get a rope.
We're in the future.
What do you mean you're going to de-extinct Tyrannosaurus leather? Get a rope. Yeah. Be something like that for sure. Yeah. I don't know, but there we go. Snuffy, you are just in your own place.
Yeah, I've been reading it. There's so many. I think he's quoting movies like over and over again. It's just consistently.
I don't know what's going on with Snuffy. T-Rex handbags, knocked off alligator bags. Yeah, that'll probably be it. There'll be somebody like using gecko skin Oh no, it's T-Rex, really.
Oh yeah, the counterfeit. Yeah.
Brent, you are not stupid. Oh, thank you.
Wait, what?
Well, thank you, Shelley. I'm
Did
not.
someone say he was? Wait a minute. just imagine walking up to someone random. Hey, you're not stupid.
Yay! I should get a line of T-shirts for the portal. It says, "I'm not stupid." I love that. That's funny, in a good
funny.
way.
Yeah.
In a good way, because
Oh yeah.
it's just good humor. That's very good humor. I like that. But what was that in reference to? Is it because I always say I'm an idiot with a microphone?
Oh, maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why.
I didn't even hear that. Maybe you said that. It's okay. I thought it was completely random. Like, whoa.
OPR says false teeth made from T-Rex teeth.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. I would do it.
You know what they call those teeth? They call them lethal bananas, because if you're holding like a banana, that's like the size of a T-Rex tooth.
Yeah.
So could you imagine just the kind of damage those things could do?
I mean,
Plus that jaw is just monstrous. I mean, it's just, it could bite through anything. My
I
God.
believe it was the strongest bite force in animal on the planet ever had.
Well, it could be. I mean, God, if it was alive, and yeah, I think one of the strongest per pound right now is a hyena. They have exceptionally strong jaws, but T-Rex would obviously be much, much stronger, but pound for pound, maybe not. I don't know how it works, but anyway, very cool. So you might see T-Rex leather at some point. You probably never heard of that before, but you have now. You're welcome. Right here on the Paranormal Portal News, and special thanks to Unexplained-Mysteries for making that happen. So
Absolutely.
we'll do one more, and then we'll get on to the question of the week. This one is, I don't know, I didn't really know Argentina had something like this. I guess it doesn't surprise me, because everywhere has something like this. No matter where you go in the world, there's hotspots for things in every country. There's hotspots for hauntings. There's hotspots for Bigfoot or some sort of cryptid. There's hotspots for UFOs. And so from unexplained-mysteries.com comes this article from the UFO Phenomena Files. And this is Mystery Surrounds Argentina's Answer to Nevada's Extraterrestrial Highway. There you go. Let's see what it says. I don't even know. Again, I'm reading it with you. A quiet stretch of road in a remote part of Argentina has become synonymous with sightings of strange objects in the sky. Nevada's State Route 375, which runs near to Area 51 and is home to numerous eyewitness accounts of UFOs and unexplained phenomena, needs little introduction. But in Argentina, there lies a very similar route that has itself been dubbed UFO Highway. Officially known as Route 368, the road runs past the town of Capilla de Monte in Cordoba province, and has become something of a hotspot over the years for tales of UFO encounters. Its reputation was cemented back in 1986 when numerous witnesses reported seeing a bright disc-shaped object in the sky over nearby Cerro Uritorco. I don't even know how to say this. Uritorco Mountain. I can't even say it. That word, whatever that word is. Similar sightings have since been recorded in the region on a regular basis. There's also frequent reports of strange sounds and mobile phones inexplicably breaking. It's allegedly not uncommon for people driving the stretch of road at night to see inexplicable lights twinkling in the sky that are visible for various periods ranging from seconds to hours. So great is the allure of the region's mysteries that it even plays host to an annual UFO festival. Exactly what could be behind these anomalies remains unclear, and while some favor an extraterrestrial interpretation, others believe that some sort of plasma phenomena could be to blame. Whatever the case, it seems something strange is definitely happening here. There we go. I'm going to spit it out eventually. So I don't know. I never knew about this extraterrestrial highway in Argentina, but that's, again, it doesn't surprise me. It's not something that really honors geographical boundaries, like our boundaries. Oh, well, they can't be down there because they're here and they're American UFOs. Well, no, they can be anywhere. So everywhere's probably got their areas, right, Sheldon?
Oh yeah, well those UFOs can fly faster than any jet on the planet, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably instantaneously from both places, between both places.
Yeah.
Or nearly so, whatever the case is. But there you go. This has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. I hope you guys found some merit in it. Again, we're broadcasting really well tonight. Everything's working good, knock on wood.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah,
looking smooth.
It's looking smooth, so thank God. Man, that's just strange. Snuffy's just kind of weirding me out. Sorry.
I know. I've been reading it as it's coming.
It's just Snuffy. What's going on, dude? Are you all right? But welcome. I'm glad you're here. But you seem to be having your own show. You're having your own show.
He's telling a story.
Is he?
Know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but he's going through.
Oh, okay. I haven't been able to read all of it, but the blurbs I have been reading is like, well, that's a unique take.
It's something.
It is something. All right. Well, we're going to get done with the news here and get back to the rest of the show. Buckle up. We're still going in. All right. Here we go.
All right.
Well, Sheldon, it's time to get into something that we've had a lot of fun with, and special thanks to our very own Chucky Danger. Chucky Danger has been championing this segment for quite a while. God bless the man. He's done an amazing job. Really, really fantastic and fascinating. Some of the questions he comes up with, but I'm speaking, of course, of the question of the week. Yep, that's what we're getting into now. So we're going to get into the Discord question of the week, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Rachel just posted the link in the chat. God bless you, Rachel. But if you're not a member of our Discord community, we'd love to have you get involved. It's absolutely cost you nothing. The Discord app is free. And a special thank you to Sheldon Thomas, who has created our own Discord server. So thank you, Mr. Sheldon, as always. And
it has grown beautifully. Thank you all for participating and joining, and just with all the beautiful links and beautiful discussion inside of there.
Yeah, I know Annie, Rachel, Chucky, and a few other people have been mods over there, keeping an eye on it, or admins. I'm not sure what they call them over there. But you guys have all done a magnificent job. And Sheldon, thanks for continuing to be involved very regularly over there. I appreciate it. But I'm not on there nearly as much as I'd love to be, but I do stop in as regularly as I can. And fascinating discussions always going on. Really great stuff. But the question of the week, if you're not familiar with it, ladies and gentlemen, is a segment that I developed a long time ago and used to do the 3 questions of the week, which was a lot. But Chucky has since championed this because it really has helped me out a ton. He handles the question of the week. And what that is we ask you guys, the Discord community at large, what do you think of certain aspects of the paranormal? And it might be cryptids like Bigfoot or Dogman or something, Loch Ness, whatever. It might be ghost spiritual. It might be UFO. And it might be strange phenomena. So any and all, including Chucky, I noticed, is taking a couple jabs into ancient archaeology, which I think is really cool too. So he's really expanded the scope of what the question of the week means. But we'd love to get your feedback. It gives us a chance to hear what you guys think of all these various phenomena. And I really appreciate your feedback and your inclusion on those things, because I don't pretend to know anything. Honestly, I really don't. I don't pretend to know anything, but I have some ideas, and I love hearing your guys' ideas as well, because you guys have come at things completely a different way than I would have, but had some absolutely brilliant observations. So thank you for sharing them. And there aren't any wrong answers. Like, you are welcome to come in and whatever you think that could be the right answer, or could be a right answer. We just don't know what any of this stuff is. So there's no way anybody can go, oh, you're absolutely wrong and I'm absolutely right. That won't be happening in this server. Maybe that goes on a lot of other places, but you'll never be degraded for just weighing in with what your opinion is, because we don't know. And we don't expect you to know, but I'd just love to know what you think. So, all right, we're going to get to that now. Sheldon, let's get into the question of the week here.
Let's.
I'm pushing the button. Had to push it twice. Here's the Discord server, ladies and gentlemen. And just a little walkthrough. Over here on the left is the discussion threads in the Paranormal Portal Discord server. And all you got to do is just go up and down, click on one with your mouse. When you first join, you'll be in the general, and people will say hello to you. They'll click a little hello thing. Once you join, it makes an announcement that you're there. And then you just got to click on questions of the week. But there's all kinds of other discussion threads you can jump into here of all these various topics that you're seeing on the screen. And there's great links people are posting in there of stuff they've found. That's exactly what it's all about. Like for Bigfoot, other Discord users are posting things they find, new information, new articles, maybe videos from YouTube, whatever. So it's a great repository for all of this information: Dogman, ghosts, UFOs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So take your time, go through here and get involved. If you like the chat community, and that's really one of the biggest compliments I ever get on the show, is that that's got a great chat community. So I can't take any credit for that. That's all you guys. And now you guys are making Discord amazing as well. So thank you guys. So a lot of our chatters are over there in Discord already. So, All right, let's get to the Discord question of the week. And this one is, again, from Chucky. I wish I could make this font bigger. I don't remember how to do that. Do you remember?
Sheldon? Oh, no, you're getting old. I'm just kidding.
What do you mean getting? I'm older.
I can't see the words, son.
What time is it?
I don't know how to make it.
Time for my nap.
I know it's control scroll in, but it's not working, so I don't know how to. I don't know.
I might be under user settings. Maybe it's there. Let me just look and see if I can figure this out. Is there a display? Profiles. Huh?
I'm looking as well.
Okay, devices, connections, clips. I'm just looking, folks.
Appearance, app settings, appearance.
Where are you seeing that?
The settings. Go to the app settings little section. Appearance. There's UI density, message spacing.
Oh, perfect.
Scaling. Change font scaling.
Where are you seeing all that? Space between messages. Chat font scaling. That's what I want, right?
I think so.
Let's go up to 20 points, see what that looks like. Zoom level. Oh, maybe I could do that up to 110. We'll just sample this out, see if that works. Oh my God, yes, look at that, folks.
Oh my God.
Daddy can read. All right, here we go. This is much better. Thank you. I don't need it quite that big, but that's fine. All right, the question of the week for this week, folks, is from Chucky Danger. Again, special thank you, Chucky. You're amazing. And here you go. Question of the week: with the recent announcement of the SAR-SCAN synthetic aperture radar of the Pyramid of Khafre, there's been a lot of speculation and denial about the supposed structures under the pyramid. In your own opinion, what do you think the SAR-SCANs show? What purpose may these serve? Is this going to rewrite our human history? Yeah, this is a great topic of discussion. Of course, a lot of back and forth, both from established archaeology, vehemently opposing this, with several people going, yeah, this makes sense. We never thought that they were built only 8,000 years ago anyway, and they weren't built by normal people. So let's see what people are saying. First up comes Karen Alberding. I don't know what's under the pyramids, but I do think that they have been here longer than they say. I find this whole thing very fascinating and exciting, even if it's disturbing in some way or frightening. That just adds up to the mystery. I think there's been a whole advanced civilization that got wiped out before the ones we know of. Yeah, I do too. Just my thoughts and wild imagination. I like to think somewhat out a little bit. I think it could be very well rewrite human history. Yeah. I think that's a great take, Karen. I think I'm really on board with you there. What do you think, Sheldon?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree absolutely that we've even gone through many articles about like an advanced civilization that there was like a new beginning for humanity and all that. I just there's a lot of mystery surrounding it. It's I haven't thought on the pyramids like a ton,
Sure.
but I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if there's a lot of undiscovered things like more tunnels going down even further than we know of.
Oh yeah, I mean, God, it could.
Yeah.
For all we know, it could be gateways to like Hollow Earth or
You never
Middle
know,
Earth.
yeah.
Gonna find hobbits and Gandalf all riding around with rings
Lord of the
and
Rings,
stuff. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is just under us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, special hello to Lucier, Ancient Mystery School, Jim Edward Lucier. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh my God, I
He
read that
says
so wrong.
vibrational pillars amplify electricity. Interesting. That's
Oh.
yeah. I've heard that there's many that speculate that the pyramids are actually some sort of generator utilizing geomagnetic forces, or maybe not magnetic is the right word, but maybe it is to create energy. So that was Karen's take. Werewolf says, I don't believe they have the scanning capability that they claim. I gotta admit, what they're claiming is that they're scanning down hundreds of feet, even through bedrock and stuff. And that really kind of cooks my bacon personally. It's like, really? Through bedrock? I mean, what is going that far through bedrock? And what can?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
It sounds really Star Trek-y, right? So I will say that.
Maybe it's just more intense version of like fish finders, you know?
Yeah, but how do they get it to go through rock? That's what I don't know. And then to measure a return. Because if it's a radar, it sends out a signal. It's got to go through all this crap, not only sand and other loose materials like that, and then bedrock, very firm, structure, and then below that, and then return with information. So the whole science behind it. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I didn't know we could do that. I mean, that's like sitting up in the Enterprise in orbit going, Captain, there's 10 million people down there with a level 3 civilization. Some of them have bad hearts. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm just saying it's the kind of stuff like where, you scan the planet and get all this feedback. It's what it seems like. So I do agree with that. It's like, I don't believe they have the scanning capability that they claim. And it's like, that is a new one to me too. I don't know. I've never heard anything.
Annie says they're not scanning through rock. They're trying to factor in surface vibrations. It's still radar echoes.
Yeah. So they're getting radar echoes from all of these levels of substrate and getting a return that carries information that wasn't corrupted on its way back. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't understand the science behind it. But I'm an idiot. Or I'm not stupid, but I'm an idiot with a microphone. Because I am not stupid. Josh Casto comes in next. By the way, that's Casto, not Castro.
Oopsie.
What was that?
What?
Where did my Discord go?
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Is this the beginning of the issues? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Really? What the hell is going on? It's still,
Like, is it blacked out? Is that what I'm looking at? Or did it
it's
just
blacked
disappear?
out. I'm trying. Oh, there it goes. I had to refresh it. It just went black for a minute. There it is. Okay. All right. It just went black. I'm just standing here. Both my hands are like here. I'm diddling my fingers. That didn't sound right. I've got my hands together in front of me as I'm talking. and then
what are you diddling?
Shut up. God. Oh, no. I gave you the wah-wahs in case you couldn't hear it. All right.
Fair.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're saying, Annie says. Okay. It's the doll, BJ. You might be right. This will be the second night of Weird Anomaly streaming since she's been in the house, but I will tell you that I went through whole nother cleansing cycle with her last night after all the problems, which included holy water and Palo Santo, prayers, all kinds of stuff. So I do have holy water here from Father Mike. He sent me holy water. So we did a bunch of that and plus incense and other stuff. But anyway, Snuffy, you're a lot of things. Now he's a sandman.
I know. I've been reading it as it's coming in.
Exit light, internet. All right, Josh Casto says, I'm on the fence with this one. Keep an open mind, maybe. But seems sketchy at the moment. We'll wait and see what unfolds. But my opinion is maybe. Be crazy if it's true. There's a lot of conjecture, good points on both sides I've heard. Could be either or at this point. I don't know. LOL. Yeah.
Well said. It's true.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like the dancing kid. He put on a dancing kid emoji. Funny. All right, Chucky Danger. Here's Eyes' response, rather. Need more evidence that isn't rainbow potato in quality to understand what you're looking at here.
I don't blame that.
The rainbow potato. And he's referring to this. This is rainbow potato. Yeah, rainbow potatoes are hard to decipher. That's true. Good point, Eyes. I don't really know what we're looking at. I guess it means more to those radar people than it does to me. But it's right on scale with a lot of Sasquatch pictures, too. So,
well, the colors probably mean openings, right?
Probably. Densities, different densities, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how they can ascertain pillars in this because, there's, I guess, densities that would reflect different colors as far as this radar is being graded. These are just data points that are being graded in a color manner to be interpreted, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a funny way to say it, though. Rainbow potatoes.
Yeah, I like that.
Steel City Stacker comes in and says, I believe the pyramids are ancient energy technology. That's why they show up all around the world, and I also believe they harnessed the energy from the air. I think it's just a form of technology lost to mankind from some kind of mass extinction event. Tesla tried to do free energy for the world with the building of his tower that lost funding before completion. So it can be done. But the people I think it means the powers that be don't want it to be done. Because there's no profit in free energy. You're absolutely right, I'm sure. It wouldn't surprise me at all to learn that there are plenty of free energy modalities available. But you're right. How do you charge for free? So there's companies built on the fact that we have consumables and we need to have things metered to measure what we're getting and then charged as such for it. And it's an industry, and I don't begrudge them that. But I think that they could, work on those prices a little bit more and make it more equitable for everybody. But
yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like if we were really all in line with making everybody with everybody's well-being and not profit, I feel like we would be in a utopia right now. I don't know, because I feel like there's a lot of technology being held back or bought out and then hidden. That is like, no, we can't let that get out. Like light bulbs. We literally can make light bulbs that last, like, not literally, but forever, for throughout your lifetime. You don't
hundreds
have to
of
replace
years,
them.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like that's being held back because of profit. It's
with incandescent light bulbs, one of the first bulbs is still burning.
Yeah.
I think it's in a firehouse in on the East Coast, but it uses carbonized filaments, right? So essentially, which is like burnt cotton or some other material. Maybe it's graphite or whatever. I don't know. But at any rate, they started with a certain like thickness of these filaments, and then they tried to see how little they could make it, and they went to like the thinnest possible filament level, and that's why they just blow out. They burn out because, they're much more fragile. But they could make them with a lot thicker filaments, and they would last hundreds or thousands and thousands of hours. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all about the filament structure itself. That they could make an eternal light bulb as long as it wasn't like popped. It would theoretically keep going forever, or a nasty spike of some kind of like electrical surge of some kind.
I mean, things like that. Sure. I mean, that can break it, but yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, you know what I like about Snuffy though? Even though he's having his own conversation, you get rated on your live streams by the level of chat activity. So Snuffy,
he's helping to pay you. Good job, Snuffy. Keep it up.
Keep it up, Snuffy. You just go to town. You're just buffing the numbers for me, brother. Keep it up. so anyway.
Keep going.
Yeah, so the unknown says there's a light bulb group that agreed to make their light bulbs only last for like 2,000 hours or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think, Elaine, you can ignore specific users like on YouTube. I think you can just click on the dots next to his messages and click ignore, and then it won't come through your feed. I think. I might be wrong.
I don't know if it's because of a mod, but it's his hide user on this channel. You can.
Yeah, don't hide him. He's giving me good numbers, so.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna. But like, I don't know if it's a mod thing or if it's.
Yeah, maybe you can hide the user for you though. So.
Yes.
Look at that. Click those three light bulbs, or those not three light bulbs. Those three dots next to the name. Yeah, that's why I don't multitask well. I'm changing a water bottle and talking, and that's what happens.
John, you're so right. Oh my God.
What John say? Light bulbs
will last forever if not turned on. You're so right.
That's true. Doesn't matter the filament thickness. Hey, Barry Anderson, good to see you, brother. All right. So Barbara Mora comes in next and says, I've always believed that pyramids of Giza and many others all over the world were built either as power stations or communication stations. True. With the recent underground discovery below them, I'm leaning more towards power stations, although the equipment used doesn't precisely show what the columns are. If they are columns, it reinforces the idea it reinforces that much more remains to be discovered about human history. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, Annie's got one coming up too, so that'll be good. Bogart, anything's possible, but I don't think they have the best scanning to see that far, but maybe in the future they can really see underground. Yep.
I mean, kind of like you're right. I mean, that picture we have, like was stated, the rainbow potato, like you can't, you're not really getting I mean, maybe experts can probably decipher that, sure, but you're not getting fine details out of that.
No, but I mean, and I'm sure the scanning, it's a very new scanning technique, and I'm sure just like everything else, like VCRs when they came out, were these like 150-pound machines that you needed a whole different table for their VCR when they first came out. They were just pigs because the technology had just come out. It was new, and I mean, it wasn't really refined yet. So you got these big obnoxious things and they're probably still in use today. If you can find one of those really old ones, I'll bet you it would still work today. They were just built to last forever. But as time went on, it shrunk and so these technologies, when they're new, they need to be refined. It's like first generation LASIK surgery for eyes versus current generation LASIK surgery. It's like two very different procedures. So, just two examples, I guess. But I don't know. When things first come out, they're very rudimentary. They need to be fine-tuned and all of that. And this is a new technology as far as I understand it. So, all right.
Yeah, it'll get better as time goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are not okay with any of that kind of talk, by the way. Not at all.
What talk was this?
Snuffy's comment.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just be sure to time out those.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Annie Manul comes in next and says, I read the 2022 paper and watched the Italian press conferences, so here goes. SAR radar imagery is created from an emitted pulse of energy in physical structures. It's been around since 1951. Okay, so it's much older than I thought. The engineer who developed this version left his job a number of years ago to sell his AI-interpreted version. He hasn't been successful despite having had previous successful career. This is relevant. The radio impulses received back from emitting them from an antenna on a satellite have to be interpreted because there's room for all sorts of errors. Trucks can be way off of a road. Objects can disappear because of radar shadow. Thus, being able to sort out all the differences in the signal is important. Filippo Biondi, whose AI radar interpreting software is being used, thinks minor differences in the surface vibration of objects can point towards underground disturbances up to over a mile deep. This is controversial because the deeper the distance, the weaker the surface signal echoed back. He admitted in his 2022 paper on the Pyramid of Khufu that there was signal interference and noise that he didn't filter out of his results. This raises the question of how accurate the data to be interpreted is. Now he's done a visual signal image of what may lie below the Pyramid of Khafre, and that's an issue beyond what I know, but let's assume it is accurate. The issue is the AI image of what it might be, especially when he has backers who have an agenda to make the pyramid something esoteric. Money, yeah. Money dictates research all the time. One of his backers even thinks Stargate SGI is real. Did they stick their oar in order to get an AI-made picture that they liked rather than an objective AI interpretation? Therefore, the AI-generated images of what lies below the pyramids of Giza accurate? Probably not. All the more so when you consider that the bedrock of Giza is limestone with a high water table, and that makes for caves and natural tunnels just as it does the Yucatan and Florida. Wow. Very interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great take, and thank you for the background on that, too. I really appreciate that.
Great information, that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to know all of these controversies or these discrepancies or at least these points of conversation that at least have to be factored in before you go, yep, there's a city and pillars and all this stuff. I mean, honestly, I hope there is. I really do. But yeah. I can't objectively and in good faith say, yes, there absolutely is, and those other people are full of crap. Now, I do understand some of the pushback, especially by the Egyptian Antiquities Authority, that for sure they want to push back on this because it's a point of pride. Like, and I said this on another show, but the pyramids were built by their ancestors. So that's an amazing thing that remains one of the wonders of the world. And what if, no, it was built long before they got there? Well, that removes some of that inherited value or that, that inherited pride, let's say. And so, sure, I mean, I can understand them defending it. And, again, there's a lot of hubris in science, so everybody wants to be right, and not everybody can be. Yeah. So great points, though. Rachel 101 says, I don't think there's any intentionally built structures deep beneath the pyramids. I heard that it was an AI interpretation of the images scanned. AI did what it could with the information provided. Sure. And I'm sure we needed AI to do that because the data set must have been enormous. Because again, it's not painting a picture. The radar itself is shooting out a signal, and it's getting all of these probably millions or tens of millions of data points returned. And so a person couldn't possibly, in any reasonable amount of time, filter through that and interpolate this amazingly large data set, especially if it was done by satellites, because that means even though it could be in a finite, place. But I'm so not informed about this, but I do understand the need for an AI to interpret it, because this is an incredible array of data points that they would have had to crunch, basically. That's just a huge number crunch. So,
yeah.
All right, good points though, everybody. It always wants to go to streamer mode. Okay, Pineapple Tango says, "Here's my guess." Oh.
Stargate.
What is that? Mini Bass Pro Shop on the top. The Hyatt Regency is in there. Benihana restaurant is in there, and Stargate. And then there's Taco Bell's all the way underneath it. And then Alien Space Hall. Yeah. I like that version, Pineapple Tango. Well played.
I hope that's true. You know what? That's the one I like.
And SoCal comes in last with a great ending. Dig it up. Yep. Yeah, let's just tunnel it under there. Tunnel under there and find out just what the hell's going on. Why not? I guess that'll be the answer we're all waiting for. But interesting stuff. Great takes. Thank you, everybody, for your thoughts. I think it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating.
I would have loved to see the pyramids when they were in their full glory.
With their marble exteriors.
The marble exteriors.
Yep.
And was there a crystal on top? I can't remember if that was true or not.
Yeah, there supposedly was some sort of crystal or gold or something on the top part of the pyramid, but again, I don't know. I think a lot of the marble was removed when they built Cairo. They just kind of took the marble from these beautiful ancient structures and started making Cairo. So it's
unbelievable.
It is. It's so tragic. What would they look like even now? You know, what would they look like? So
there's plenty of marble. You can just get it from somewhere else.
Yeah. Justin Gooder is saying academia is saying it is bunk science and is usually as usual. So I tend to give it more credit. Either way, it shows hollows beneath the pyramids. Yeah. And it could be just caverns as suggested for a limestone bedrock and water. But yeah, interesting. Good take. Good to see you, Justin. Thanks for coming in, brother. As always. Mm-hmm. So Cal says, we'll know the answer one day. Yeah.
We will.
In this life or the next, we're going to know all the answers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So good takes, everybody. Thank you for participating and being part of the discussion. This has been the Discord Question of the Weekend. And remember, everybody, this is absolutely wide open to any of you. Become a member and get involved of the Discord. It costs you nothing. It's absolutely free. And obviously, there's amazing discussions going on all the time. So we'd love to have your involvement.
Absolutely.
This has been the Question of the Week. All right, there we go. That was fun.
Beautiful.
That was a fun question, though. And I love all of the takes, the background information that we'd never had before. I love it. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Oh, some had crystals and gold, and he says on the pyramids. Yeah, it's so sad that stuff just got robbed. It's like, ooh, shiny. Yeah.
Stupid. Just stupid.
Yeah, and you were saying about how you wish that, we had a society like that. About I don't know what the reference was, but I remember thinking about it going, yeah, I wish
Utopia?
we did. Yeah, like a utopian society. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's kind of both ways. Like the geopolitics and interpersonal issues that we continue to have show us that it goes both ways. The geopolitics and interpersonal issues perpetuate problems, but the problems perpetuate geopolitics and interpersonal issues. So, like, as messed up as the political sphere is, and as messed up as, some of the squabbling and arguing and class warfares that go on it's kind of this self-perpetuating monster. And I think it's going to take us a while to even be ready for any kind of utopia. Like if they introduced a utopia tomorrow, people would burn it down within a year. It would be burned down.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody would be pissed about something, and anyway. The unknown has
ready for that.
No, I wish we were though. The unknown has a quick question. He says, "Hey Brent, quick question. What was that Sasquatch game called? The one where the Bigfoot took a crap in the woods?" That was called Bigfoot Life, and it's available on Steam. I guess at least a playable demo of it is available. It's supposed to be launching anytime. But yeah, that was hilarious. That cracked me up so hard. It's like I was just watching it, just having a good time with it, and then all of a sudden they actually have it pooping in the woods, and it's like, oh my God. And it's like shooting nuggets out. It's like, what? So anyway. But yeah, that's the name of the game. Bigfoot Life. All right. Good quest. Good answers, everyone. Rachel says, yeah, absolutely. John Temperance says, maybe the pyramids are just there to confuse you. Somebody going, hey, watch this. The aliens are like, hey, should we screw with them some more? Hold my beer. They build pyramids. It's a hold my beer moment. Yeah. Anyway, very cool. All right, what are we going to do now? What time is it? It's already 8:10. Wow.
Whew, jeez.
Time just flies away, doesn't it, here on the portal?
It does.
It really does. I don't know if we're going to get... I wanted to get to this one because, you know, the kind of the topic has been like toys. And this is only nine true and terrifying tales of haunted toys tormenting their owners. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, since I brought the doll home and have some questionable things happening around here, maybe, the verdict's not in yet, but, you know, it's potential. There's a potential that some of the weirdness that has been introduced into my home with the broadcast and with Discord going to hell on me and stuff, that maybe something screwy. I will say that I did put the cat ball on the doll today for a while. Actually several hours. Never did see it go off, but I put it back on the back here by the skull behind me here, and it did go off. So I don't know. Not saying it's the doll, but the doll didn't seem to trigger it when it was in its hands, like in its lap. So I'll keep trying though. But if I can really dial it into being, oh, it's definitely the doll, it may still remain in the studio, but I'm going to probably build an enclosure for it, if you will. It might go with us to Vernal.
Oh, really?
What do you think of that? What would you think of that? Should we bring the doll with the Vernal? To the Vernal conference?
Yeah, why not?
We'll take her on a trip. We'll get a little car seat and everything. I probably have some laying around here.
That's how we get into a crash.
Yeah, well, if we die on the way there, we'll know it's the doll. Then that's it.
The mystery will be finally solved by
So if we don't make it to Vernal, folks. And
it was the doll.
It was the doll. It was the doll killed us. And somebody burn it. No, I'm just kidding. So
put that in your will. Burn the doll.
And to my listeners, I leave the doll. Burn it. Yeah, exactly. It'll be in my last will and testament. So, all right.
Says what doll? He doesn't know about the doll.
Who?
Batman.
Batman? You don't know about the doll?
Batman don't know about the doll.
Should I show him the doll?
Yeah, you may as well. There might be some new people coming in that haven't seen it yet, so why not?
All right, a little background, folks. I brought home what seems to me to be a very spooky doll. I found it at a local thrift shop that's attached to an animal shelter. We always go out there and try to support it because I love animals, and I love that this is a no-kill shelter and they take care of the animals. And actually, Pikachu, my little white cat, is from the shelter. So we love the shelter, and we go out there all the time and find specials. While I was out there, I don't even remember what day of last week now, but I was with Mrs. Portal and the Minion, and I just looked across, and it was like this doll on the wall up high. Just was like it was looking at me. And I was like, wow, that's an intense look. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I've always thought maybe it'd be neat for decoration here to have some version of doll. I thought, well, that'd be kind of fun. I always wanted to go to thrift shops and find old dolls and make them look gothy or whatever. But this one's already creepy the way it is, so I don't need to do anything. But I was like, I wonder if that's for sale, because it was way up high on the wall and it wasn't really accessible. So I'm like, I don't know. I wonder if that is actually for sale. So I went over and checked out with the items we had. And I asked the lady that was doing the checkout. She's a nice old lady. I was like, by the way, is the doll up on the wall there? The dolls, are they for sale? She goes, oh, sure. I'm sure they must be. Like, okay, well, I said, is it okay if I grab that one down and get that? And she goes, oh, yeah, but you'll have to do it. You have to get it yourself. And I was like, okay. So I'm over there and I'm like reaching up and I was able to get a leg and this thing is freaking heavy. It's all porcelain. Every bit of it is porcelain. Like, it's not like on some of those dolls, like the hands, the forearms and hands are porcelain and the head and the knees down to the feet is porcelain. Then they're like pillowy stuff. This thing is all porcelain. It's like huge and heavy. And I brought her down and she had a price tag on her leg. It said $27. But then I looked below that and this shelter has colored tags. Different colors, and every week they do a different special. Like, oh, yellow tags this week are 50% off, or blue tags are 50% off. It depends on the week. But this day that I was there was green tags, 50% off. Well, I looked and saw the $27 tag. I'm like, oof, I don't think I'm going to throw $27 at this. Maybe not. But then I look below that, further down on the leg, there's a green tag for $10. And just turns out that green tags were 50% off.
$5.
So I paid $5 for this thing. I'm going to get her now. Just so you know, if you're kind of creeped out by dolls, you might want to take a break. I'll be right back. Come to me, little one. Tweet, tweet,
Oh,
tweet,
God.
tweet. All right. Here she comes.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Yeah, you're a freaky little thing.
Oh, no.
You're
Stream's
cute,
catching
though.
up.
She's a cute little thing. I got to get my headphones back on.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh, you can see her?
No. Rachel says, Brian, have you checked out the manufacturer's stamp that should be at the base of the back of the head? It might reveal about its age, where it is from.
It does have a stamp, but it looks like it was more a homemade kind of thing. It says Anita Wolf and 8091 or 8901. I don't remember. But I looked it up on Google and I can't find anything referencing old dolls. Let me do this. I'm going to bring it full screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my doll. God, she's heavy. Oh, Christ. I don't want to drop her. I'm going to try to hold her up here.
Yeah, she's haunting.
Look at those eyes. Are you serious? Look at those eyes. Right?
Yeah.
And look at that like old ragged dress. I mean, it's not ragged. It was probably pretty in her day. But this is her.
Jeez.
This is her. I swear, the first night I got her, I just looked at her waiting for her to blink. Like those eyes are so realistic, you know?
Yeah. It's very well crafted, I will say that. It's very, very creepy.
Now, here's the other part that's kind of funny is that she didn't come with this haircut. Like some little girl sometime in her life gave her a hairdo. Like all the dolls have this long bobby curly hair, this not bobby, but they have like long curly locks. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing is like, I mean, it's literally heavy. It's not light. And you can hear the legs clanking.
I see what you mean. Like, I'm just staring at her eyes waiting for her to blink. I see what you mean.
Right. I mean, she's so lifelike. I'm just a nice doll. I won't hurt you. So this is her. But yeah, disturbing. Let the A on your Google search on your phone ID her. Oh, will it do that? I didn't know that.
Whoa.
Maybe it'll happen, but I'm sure she had different hair originally, but this seems more fitting because she's about the size of a 1-year-old, and that would be about 1-year-old hair, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It seems more fitting. You could use her as a wind chime.
True.
So this is her. But look at those eyes, folks. Doesn't not look like she's looking at you.
Oh my God, stop.
Right?
Don't point her at the camera. God.
Seriously?
I'm getting Uncanny Valley, like, massive vibes.
Hey, I'm the new co-host.
No.
Hey, you guys.
Honestly, you should put her in the co-host chair and just turn on the camera and have it just stare. Like when I'm not here, nobody's here. It's just you, just over there. Have the camera on her.
I swear the doll just winked at me, Unknown says. Yeah, I don't know. I keep waiting for her to blink. I mean, honestly, it's so lifelike.
It is very.
It's just very,
Uncanny Valley.
very uncanny valley, as you say.
Yes.
It could be a wind chime. You could be a wind chime. You know that? If you're haunted, you're probably going to be a wind chime out in the yard somewhere.
Rachel says this feels like the start of a found footage horror movie.
I know, right? So, no, she's absolutely beautiful and adorable. I mean, the porcelain is so smooth that it's, I don't know, it's just strange. But she is adorable. You're right, Owl. But the intensity of those eyes is what like really makes me just, I don't know what to think about it. So, definitely need a doll cam. SoCal says cutie.
Yeah, see.
Ramon says cutie. Yeah. So looks like she could be real, but she's not real.
And he says, I think it's custom made doll given the quality.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That would make sense as to maybe you can't find information on it too.
Yeah, she's all of $5, but I'm not sure if she's staying in the Portal studio or she's going to the garage. But
or the garbage.
No. I won't throw her away. I would never do that because somebody else might get a hold of her. I would make sure to keep her from floating around if she does cause problems. That's not going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. The string that holds her together is pretty stretched out though. Like her legs are dangling a lot too low. I guess you can't see, but yeah. So there you go.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah, there you go. Now you know my doll. This is the doll. So when you hear references of the doll come up, this is what we're talking about. Now, she's been real peaceful, I think. I don't know. I don't get like bad vibes, but I don't know. That could just be, not very sensitive too. I don't know. We'll see.
The human part of myself does not like it.
Davina Deshaw says, I first thought it was your child when you popped up on my feed. Yeah, I mean, it does look that real, right? Like,
yeah, it kind of does, yeah.
Rachel says, I'll only say nice things about the doll. The Unknown says, wasn't Chucky cute at one time? Yeah, well, so far she hasn't moved that I can tell either. So, like, if suddenly she was in a different position, then it'd be like, then it'd be time to up the game or come up with different living arrangements for her. Yeah. Oh, what? Who's the idiot over on Rumble? FL Groy P. What's Groip? Is that like Groper or whatever? What does that say? Sorry, but I can't take anyone who wears that type of hat seriously. What a dick.
Wait.
It's over on Rumble. Who's that idiot?
Oh, I see. Sorry, I can't take where's that type of hat. What?
Like the hat either qualifies me or discounts me in this idiot's opinion. It's like, well, okay, so I'm gonna change my entire dress code for you. Yeah, you just go ahead. Take care. Bye bye. All right, I'm gonna go put a wreck.
You don't have to watch then. It's not that big.
I know. It's like, oh, I can't stand watching this. Well, yeah, turn the channel.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Some people.
Everybody thinks you're beautiful. People think you're beautiful, little doll. So, anyway, there you go. You think Snuff, you switch sites? Sounds like it should be called Grumble. No, the Rumble crowd is awesome. I've loved those guys over there. I've met a bunch of wonderful people over there, and some of our regulars from over here are over there. But that guy's clearly, message was removed. Way to rock. Somebody killed it. Thank you. Yeah, you can just go to the bin.
Bye-bye.
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 Love you, mean it. All right. Beware, Brent. Someone may move the doll and freak you out. Well, nobody's nobody's coming in the studio without me. This whole room freaks most people out, so the doll
Maybe
is
the
just
minion.
the doll is just one part of what goes on in here.
He'll wake up and staring at you when you wake up from sleep.
Oh my God! Could you imagine? Hell yeah! That it would. What did mom? Oh, mom says she can come to my house. Yeah. Well,
I don't know about that, Nina. I don't know.
I'm not even sure she's able to live here yet. We're still in discovery mode. Now I'm going to be listening for the sounds of the legs clinking while you talk. Pixie says. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, that kind of brings us, I guess, to the cryptid corner because we're running low on time. I got to get centered in my own camera again here. I had to scooch out and get the doll. But now you'll know. Oh, even you says, what are you going to do when she talks to you? I will collectively poop myself.
That's when we break out the kerosene.
We're going to give her a bath. Yep. We're going to purge her demons. That's just what's going to happen. Brent, set up a continuous live stream of her on YouTube. Call it Possessed Doll Cam. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably missing it. You're right. I should put her in the studio chair when I'm not in. Well, that would be never almost. I'm like only not in here when I'm sleeping, and that's about it. Yeah. But yeah, I could. I've thought about putting a stream of her. If I moved her out to the garage, my idea was, well, maybe I can just rig up a camera and just leave her out there with, sensors around her and REM pod and just let it sit, see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
I mean, I got a lot of investigative equipment, but the thing is that I'm also very tentative about trying to investigate too much in this house just because we live here. I mean, if things go sideways, I still have to live here, so, and not only me, but the minion and the Mrs. Portal. So, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit, clankety clank. Yeah. Clank, clank. The studio is protected by the attack doll.
Get a sign.
Yeah. I should get the attack doll sign. This home. I mean, I already have a burglar alarm, so I could just get another and the haunted doll.
John, I actually love that movie. That's so nostalgic.
What's that?
Small Soldiers.
Oh, that was a great movie. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think we probably already have the technology to make those little guys.
Yeah, with AI. Yeah. Yeah.
AI, I'm sure there's better versions of batteries out there that are like probably military grade, just like they alluded to in the movie, but
yeah,
probably made with depleted uranium or something like that. But why not? Every kid should have one. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jed. You don't poop while you sleep. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. I don't even, the Ouija board that I have here in the studio is only for display. In fact, when I first got that, the first thing I did was bind it and, make sure to try to lock it down. It's never, ever, ever been used. So it is just decorative on the wall. And the planchette is nowhere near it. So I don't play with no Ouija.
Nope.
Beware of haunted doll sign. Yeah, that would be funny. Yep. There we go. All right. Ramon says bass lines. All right. Let's get to the cryptids and see where we end up for the rest of the show. Are you ready, Sheldon?
Always for cryptids.
That's a great idea, Rachel. Great idea.
Yeah.
Get a shirt protected by attack doll with a picture of the doll. Yeah, I could do a cartoonish version of her. Put it on the the yellow triangle sign.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yes, indeed. The CCC Creeper Crawler Corner. Creepy Crawler Corner. Yeah, exactly, BJ. Absolutely. I wouldn't even watch shows if they bring out the Ouija board. Yeah, me either. I mean, it's mostly because I do believe they can be used responsibly and safely, I just think that I have yet to see any example of people doing it correctly. And I don't play with them myself. I just not interested in making that connection in that manner. But I do believe they can be used very safely and well, but I just haven't seen any examples on like YouTube of people doing that. I see them using them absolutely wrong. And that's concerning because that's the example that's out there of, how to use a Ouija board. Or you can follow the Parker Brothers example that they print on the inside of the box. And that's almost worse. So anyway, ignore what the doll says. It's rarely the truth. Well, she doesn't say anything now, thank God. She starts saying stuff, then we got a new issue altogether. But, all right, let's go to the cryptids. This is where we talk about creatures around the world. Cryptozoology is a fascinating part of our world. And again, the term cryptid doesn't necessarily mean supernatural. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means these are creatures people have encountered that may be a part of our natural world. They're just not substantiated currently by science. They are, the panda at one point was a cryptid, honestly, and so many other things. And now they're just facts. So when you hear the term cryptid, automatically you think, no, this is all hooky, weird stuff. But not you guys. You guys are part of the family, the bloodline here. But a lot of people hear that and they go, okay, it's going to get wonky in here. But again, like pandas were the legends of impossibility for a long time until they found pandas. And then, they're real. So just keep that in mind as you hear the term cryptid. Cryptid just implies basically a creature that has been reported but is yet to be substantiated by science. The gorilla was a cryptid to the Europeans. Yeah. Mountain gorillas, it was hard for anybody to wrap their head around it. But then they found them. There's lots of them. So anyway.
That's a good question, actually, from Owl.
What?
Not a question, but there are mouse pads with Ouija board design. The mouse becomes the planchettes. But wait, does intention matter, though, with it, though? Like, if you just have a design and just have it around and you, like, use, like, a mouse as a mouse pad, does intention matter at that point?
Well, I mean, the design in and of itself is harmless. It's like, it's about as dangerous as, and I like to use the example like a Bart Simpson placemat for your kid's cereal bowl that you have on the table. It's just no more evil or wicked than anything else. It's the intention and the misuse that causes problems and creates bindings or potentially portals or whatever. The biggest problem with Ouija board will always be that you're making a blind channel of yourself, and I think that's where the danger lies, because you don't know what you're communicating with, but you're using yourself as a conduit to communicate. By communicating through the board, holding the planchette, you're a part of the circuit automatically. So if there is something dark and horrible that comes through, you're automatically wide open for bad things to happen to you or to create attachments to you and possibly much worse. So just be very, 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 very careful. So, and then, even if it seems like a really nice, good, benevolent spirit, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? Can you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's important to not play with things that you don't fully understand. So never open a portal you can't close.
Yes. And
this portal, if you want to close it, just close your browser. It's dead. So, anyway, there we go. Let's see what's going on. I got to catch up with Rumble here. Okay. So we're going to get some cryptids. What do we got? I was going to do 9 true and terrifying tales of haunted toys, but we'll pick that up on probably Wednesday again. I will get into that. Instead of doing the actual article, we did the real thing with my doll. So I don't know. I hope that was a good substitute, but now you guys know that I have a doll that might be haunted.
Yeah.
I don't know that it is or not. I'm not sure. I just know that those eyes are freaking strange to me. Very strange.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't you agree?
100%, 120%. Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to start off the journey at Sasquatch Chronicles here. We're going to dive into a article that he had on the Sasquatch Chronicles blog. By he, I mean Wes. And it was from April 26th. And this is Tonight's show, it looked very human in the face. So this is something that's already a live episode. If you haven't heard it, go over to Sasquatch Chronicles. Check out this actual episode. It'll be much more in depth than this the article we're going to read. But check it out. Let me get it up on screen. Sorry. All right, here we go. It looked very human in the face. Thomas writes, I had the definite, undeniable to me Bigfoot sighting. The location was our family farm in Taylor County, Georgia. It's easy to find online. Our farm was sold to the people that were building the new PGA golf course called the Fall Line. The area is a I guess Gaw is Georgia.
Oh.
I was like, what word is that?
I was thinking it was Orcish. What?
Yeah, I know. Ookla, Duke. Yeah. Loktar. The area is a Mock, Georgia address. It was late October day around 4:30 p.m. I decided to go on an informal hunt. I don't know what that means, an informal hunt. But maybe it's where you just take your gun out and walk in the yard and see what you can find. I had tennis shoes, yeah, pretty much. Tennis shoes, blue jeans, and a red flannel overshirt that was unbuttoned. And I had a t-shirt on underneath. I just grabbed my bolt action 30-30 and headed out. I was going to walk up the hill from my house and come up in the back 40 from that area. Well, I was about 40 to 50 yards from the top of the hill where there was a hog wire fence on the property line. And I saw a black thing just on the other side of the fence, and it was barely wiggling. Or it was barely wiggling? Well, I looked at it through my scope to try to identify it, and all I could see was black fur. And it looked like a rectangular piece of black fur carpet and was barely wiggling. Okay, so it was barely, not barley. Okay. He spelled it barley the first time. Okay, I could not make it out and started ruling out animals like a 40-pound coon or a hog. I started to stalk up on it, and I could hear the closer I got to it, the sound of leaves rustling in front of it seemed to match that wiggling motion. Well, I got within 20 yards of it and still couldn't make it out. No head, tail, legs, just a black fur rug. Well, at this point, I just wanted to know what it was, and I dropped my gun down to one hand hold on my left side and started to angle to the right just to be able to see it. As soon as I took a few steps, it turned its shoulder to the right and looked at me. It had a surprised look on its face, eyes and mouth wide open. It was squatted down and started off on all fours and then stood up and ran the rest of the way to disappear into the woods. It was covered with pretty black 1 to 2 inch fur, no mange, no hair on the face, that looked human, flat with gray skin. When it was on all fours, it never looked away from me. I saw some white in those wide open eyes. Conical head, 5 feet tall, narrow at the waist, no smell. I never felt in danger. I couldn't find anything in the leaves, and the sand was disturbed, but no tracks. I went back to the house, and to this day, I'm trying to figure it out. I've told a few people through the years and never got a good reaction. It would be easy to call it an undiscovered primate, but after years of processing what happened before and after the encounter, I'm just not sure about it. I wish I could have seen it for just a little longer. If you can picture this with black fur walking up from straight behind, it is the closest as to what I can describe I saw walking up on it. Ivan T. Sanderson's Abominable Snowman. Legend comes to life, first published in 1960. Oh, so this is what it kind of looked like. Oh. Like it was just hunched over like that. It's Professor Karakov depicting the posture of a sleeping Sasquatch. So it's kind of huddled up into a ball. Wow. Sighting location for Thomas Tucker, just on the other side of what we call a hill down here to the right of the fence in the first photo. about a half a mile from each photo. Second picture is my old homestead, a very low human population, and land is still not developed. Now, there's a lot of scrub in there for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to believe that, something that could be. I mean, this one he said was, I don't know where he came with 5 feet tall. That's certainly a very young one if that's a Bigfoot. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a family of them there, I guess. And that was just the kid dorking off on its own and got in trouble.
Yeah, no kidding.
Comparison to the first photo, my sighting had a little more pronounced conical head, had less hair on the face, more lean or skinnier but muscular, and more narrow at the waist. Oh, my eyes are burning, sorry. The face was more like the second drawing. The hair on the one I saw was a little more prettier or better coverage than either of these drawings. So I think that's a depiction of the Patty film, basically. The classical Patty pose. And there's a gorilla head, but yeah, that's the conical shaped head that people refer to with the Bigfoot.
All right.
From a side angle gorilla head, human face with a long, slender, wide at the shoulder chimpanzee body is my best description for what I saw. Head to toe fur that was longer than this, but had the same appearance. So there you go. Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, I like the heavy description.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It definitely goes into quite a bit of detail about what he saw and then provided examples.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, you can get a visual kind of what the person saw. But that's pretty fascinating.
Very.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, sounds even from the description, it sounds like he's talking about a younger one.
Yeah, well, 5 feet tall is very, very small.
5 feet skinny, and that's skinny at the waist as well, so it hadn't fully developed in that way.
Yeah, and the thing is with Bigfoot, I think that they have enough. They have like a pretty robust biodiversity. Some of them, not all of them, are hulking giants. Like a lot of times, people see these huge, 9, 10 foot tall, 8, 9, 10 foot tall hulking giant things. Yeah. But I think there's some that are maybe, 6, 7 feet tall. But it's just harder to differentiate that from what could be a person. Maybe the 7 foot tall, no. But in the 6 foot range, yeah, it could very easily be a number of people. And so but 5 foot is even smaller. So I just think, but I do think that not all of them are enormous. There's probably just like people. Not all people are enormous.
Yeah, there's people have a lot of different builds.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, one thing that I figured since I moved up into the north of Idaho is that men are created a lot taller out here than back in Minnesota. Like in Minnesota, I was pretty average in height, but out here, I think I'm on the lower average range. Like there's 6'4", 6'3", 6'7". There's some big boys out here up in the mountains. And maybe it's by virtue of just being in the mountains.
Yeah.
That, much like Moore's law, or it's Moore's law, I think, is the biological law that states that a species will continue to get bigger the farther away from the equator that it is.
Right.
And I'm sure maybe that has to do with elevations and stuff too, but yeah, or it's Bergman's law. Moore's has to do with something else. I don't remember that. But Bergman's law, I think, is the one that talks about the distance from the equator and the size of a given individual in a species. That the further away they are from the equator, north or south, the larger they're going to be. Crossbreeding with Idaho Bigfoot, maybe. Maybe, Annie. I don't know what's going on up here in the hills. I just got here a while ago, so I'm not really a social person, so I don't get out and get to know too many of the locals. But very nice people up here. Very wonderful people. Yeah.
I have noticed that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very kind people. So this is from Sasquatch Chronicles. Check out that episode again. It looked very human in the face. So I'm sure that would be a great episode. All right, we're going to go over to, whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to have that running still. I still have the Cryptid Corner running. But we're going to go over to Phantoms and Monsters. Here's an interesting Bigfoot report that I think it's interesting because you wouldn't normally think that this is where you might see them, but I've heard reports like this before. They're not as common, but they do pop up. And this is, again, phantomsandmonsters.com is Lon Strickler's site. Excuse me. Just a little gashy there. Lon Strickler's been an absolute pillar in these communities for a long time. And I hope that you will go over and check out his site, much like with Wes's site. The Sasquatch Chronicles is a podcast, but it's also a lot more when you consider the blog and his webpage, sasquatchchronicles.com. So please check that out. But Phantoms and Monsters is Lon Strickler's site, and over there are thousands of encounter reports with everything from Bigfoot, Dogman, strange creatures, UFOs, strange phenomena, and aliens, etc. So it's a great, amazing repository of a lot of different accounts. So go check it out. Go support what Lon is doing, and check out his podcast, which is called Phantoms and Monsters Radio. And you can find that on YouTube. So get subscribed. Lon does his live streams every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. But, adjust that for your time zone wherever you are. And you can enjoy Lon, and then you can tune into the portal. It's a win-win.
That's right.
It is. So here we go. This is from phantomsandmonsters.com. Bigfoot encounter in Kansas City, Missouri.
Whoa.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Right? I mean, it does come up, though. There's been reports of Bigfoot in Detroit, of all places.
That's wild.
Right. I know. You wouldn't think that would be possible. But if you also consider that there are some individuals that become rogues, that is believed, again, it's speculation at best, but it's believed that as family groups grow and as maybe the males are growing up to a certain point, then they're kind of kicked out. Go. You can't be here. And so they have to go out on their own. Now, I think that's by and large, maybe they challenge other adults in different areas. And if they keep getting kicked out, or people or individuals are displaced, whether by a new one coming in and challenging the old one and kicking them out, they got to go somewhere. Well, there's a lot of wild places in the Americas, but there's also a lot of low-hanging fruit. So if you think of the possibility of perhaps there's an individual Bigfoot, male or female, that may not be doing so well in the wilds, if they just come closer into us, they're going to be able to pick at a basic feast. We throw away a lot of food all the time, and there's been plenty of reports of people seeing these things digging through dumpster diving, garbage can diving, whatever. And I'm sure they could just get their fill. And it stands to reason. I think that they are intelligent and they are opportunists. And sometimes it's either lay out in the field or in the wilds and starve, or you go into the more metro places and probably live and eat well for the remainder of your years. So let's read this one. Let's see what happens. The next thing my dad knew, he was halfway back to their car with Ricky yelling at him for leaving him back there with those things. Well, they got back in the car and left. They never went back. Well, that's a little teaser for the upcoming article here. The following account was forwarded to me. This encounter was not mine, but my dad's. I've heard him tell it tons of times over the years, but I still remember the first time he told me about it when I was younger. This happened in Kansas City, Missouri, north of the river, in the late 70s. The area has since been turned into multiple subdivisions and is no longer wooded in any way. My dad and his friend Ricky were out with a few friends partying in those woods at this rock overhang they knew of. Well, they had a fire and were admittedly drinking and other things that first night. Early in the night, they heard something walking on the overhang above them, and they knew it wasn't a cow or deer since it was very heavy and not making the type of noise that hooves would make on the rock, and it sounded like it had 2 feet. Well, Dad and Ricky took their flashlights and went to see what it was, and as soon as they shined the lights above, they heard whatever it was take off. Well, they tried to follow it, but whatever it was seemed to be just fast enough that they couldn't even keep up with it long enough to get a look. Eventually, they couldn't even hear it anymore and went back to the fire and their friends. Well, no big deal. Later that night, the police arrived and made them leave. They had them dump out their booze and escorted them all out. See, that's the way it used to be. If cops caught you with booze, it'd be like, all right, kids, dump it out, get home. Now it's like, ooh, you're going to jail. It's a different world for sure. At this point, they didn't think anything about the noise from earlier and thought maybe it was a landowner or something. Well, the next night, my dad and Ricky decided to go back to the overhang and get a fewer legal things. I think it was a few illegal things that they hid there when they heard the police coming. Well, at this point, they were both completely sober and started walking through the field that led to the wooded area. But when they got to about 10 feet away, they heard something large moving towards the tree line. And then it screamed at them. My dad said he had never heard anything like it. It sounded like a person screamed with a mix of dog in excruciating pain all at once. And it went on for a very long time. Well, they were both frozen next to each other, terrified and absolutely unable to move, until they heard another scream right after the first ended. But this one was from about 50 feet to their left. The next thing my dad knew, he was halfway back to their car with Ricky yelling at him for leaving him back there with those things. They got back in the car and left, and they never went back out into those woods. Growing up, this was a cool story and made me interested in cryptids and the like. I eventually heard some screams and howls on some sort of investigative show, and that was when it really clicked in my mind that my dad really did have an encounter with Bigfoot. Anyway, that was my introduction to the subject, and just wanted to share it. So that was by Kay, and there's no follow-up from Lon, but
Wow.
very...
Not a very subtle, experience.
No, but...
This was more like an intense psychological move from it.
Oh, yeah, I must have maybe recognized them from the night before. Maybe what they heard the night before was a young one, and they chased it, and this was Mom and Dad going, oh, you're back. Oh, well, we're going to make sure you don't want to come back. I don't know. I mean, it's, again, speculative, but it sounds like they got a whole different version of the events the second night.
Jeez, yeah.
Or maybe they found the illegal stuff and they were having a party of their own. Ah! Yeah, I love these brownies. Yeah, just saying. Could be.
They were having a trip and that's what they were screaming.
Yeah. I don't know why Bigfoot would scream, other than territorial, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing that people always talk about is the power of their vocalizations.
Mm-hmm.
And I just heard a growl, and I assumed that this was what was growling. I don't know. I didn't see it, but the power of that growl was what was the most terrifying part of it. It was just so big. It was the growl of something enormous. It wasn't just like a mad dog or something like that. It was like huge. The strength of that sound was one of the, well, like I've always said, it still remains one of the most terrifying experiences of my entire life. And I've had several, but this one is still right on the top of, I just thought I was going to die. Whatever was that sound was my death coming. So I don't blame these guys for just like, nope, done. Anytime that power of a vocalization comes, and I think it takes a special kind of person to work through that fear, because I think that's where the sound developed over a millennium of probably dealing with us, is they had to come up with a sound that was so big and powerful that it just made us want to pee ourselves, and they did.
They found it.
Right, but there's still some people that are out looking for these things that I guess they've heard them up close and personal do these roars, and they still, I mean, they feel a lot more unnerved, but they still stick it out. and hats off to them if they're that brave. It's a whole different kind of bravery than I'm capable of, though. Yeah. What would you do if you heard this sound? And do you know what the sounds sound like?
Like that kind of deep, the one that you heard kind of thing?
Well, maybe not the growl. I mean, you just have to, you'd have to imagine a big, big, deep growl. And there was nothing very unique about it. It was just huge. And it was terrifying. Like, but I'm talking about these screams.
Well, honestly, my initial response would be to freeze.
Sure.
I mean, I'd be frozen. Well, I don't even know if I'd be able to move for a bit.
My recommendation is to go to the BFRO.net, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.net, and they have some sound files there. And one of those sound files is the old Ohio howl. And it's the one they used to mimic a lot on Finding Bigfoot back in the day. You know,
found it. Yeah.
And the recording that you'll hear on BFRO.net, and there's a few different recordings, including the whoops, which Wes uses on the intro to his show. Those are recorded from an experiencer as well. But the power of that vocalization, even being so far away in that Ohio howl, it's just like, oh my God, what would that be like in person? And then there's are you listening to it?
Yeah, I just listened to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an intense sound. And if that was close, if that was really close to you.
Yeah.
That is really creepy, right?
It sounds like an alarm.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it does sound like it's an alarm going off, but that is all. I mean, then there's different vocalizations than that. This one they described in this story didn't sound so much like an Ohio howl, but it sounded like the scream, rage scream kind of thing. And yeah. I don't know if I've heard an example of that, but there was a couple that they were towing their RV and they were kind of broken down on the side of the road in the mountains of California, I think. And as they were sitting there, they recorded a long series of what might have been a whole pack of Bigfoot coming through. And they were doing so they were probably, I'm just guessing, they were probably pushing game, like the old strategy of hunting. Like you go in and you push deer, and then there's some guys waiting somewhere to, watch for any deer to come out of the brush, and they'll, shoot them or whatever. But the Bigfoot seem to do something very similar where they will push deer, but they might do it. It seems that they may use these vocalizations as a way to go get everything, not just deer, but everything, just to go, oh, hell no, and start shooting the direction they want to push them. But this couple recorded this, I don't know, it was like 5 or 10 minutes of these vocalizations, and they're in the distance. But if you were sitting there in the dark on a mountain road all by yourself, no traffic coming, and you heard that coming through, I mean, come on. That's absolutely horrifying, right?
Oh, God. Yep, I'd be frozen. I'll admit it. Absolutely, yeah. I would.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, I don't know, but that's kind of the journey tonight. Special thanks to all of you for being here, as always. Yeah. I'm just glad it was a successful stream. That's what
it was smooth.
That's what makes me the most happy. I'm plenty happy, Sheldon.
Me too.
I called your brother your name today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like, "Say my name."
That's funny.
He's not used to that because, of course, you guys have such an age range. You didn't actually grow up together. But I grew up thinking my name was Jeff Brian Brent.
That's true, yep.
My mom would always go, "Jeff Brian Brent." I was like, well, that's me. Whatever the last name she said was the one she was actually trying to get. We knew how to decode that.
It's so funny.
All right. But anyway, I did it today to Elijah. He's like, "That's not my name." I was like, "Oh, yep, sorry." Because you were just here, so it's kind of in my mind.
I'm always there in spirit, so that's
yes,
right.
I know. Hey, Roman. Good to see you. Roman Daniels, of course, of
Roman
Supernatural Station. Hey, Roman, did that episode get posted? I didn't see if you posted it. From my interview with they had me as a guest on Supernatural Station.
Oh.
Roman, when you get a chance, let me know. Much love, guys. Great community. He might have left already. So,
he
says it's going out tomorrow. Okay, very good, sir. It was a pleasure talking with you guys. Thank you. And watch Supernatural Station. I did an interview with the guys, and that should be posted tomorrow. So it'll be posted tomorrow, and it'll be a great one. Damn
Excellent.
right. Damn right. All right. Well, sounds good, guys. Well, that's going to be it. Sheldon Thomas, close us out. What do you got?
Well, guys, don't forget we got paranormalportal.net, the home base of the Paranormal Portal, posted right in the chat for you. Best place to keep up to date on the new podcast when we're going live, as well as your very own chance to get yourself interviewed if you have an amazing story to share. And we'll also post discord.gg/paranormalportal, the link right in the chat for, as you saw earlier, the question of the week. That's where you can always stay connected to the community and answer your very own thoughts. We love to hear what you guys think with the questions of the week that Chucky Danger releases every week.
Amen. So that's it for us, guys. We'll be back anticipating Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays. Usually that's when we're going to be live. If anything comes up, watch the social media. That's where I'll post on Facebook. If there's any reason I can't do a show, I try to post there ahead of time. So, but otherwise, that's all we got. Curious Potato, I liked. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Curious Potato. But remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. So stay tuned for more news about the doll. Ooh. I don't know how this is going to evolve, but I'm just thinking might be a ghost or a doll cam on my
Stream?
Patreon.
Oh, okay.
That's the word I was looking for. I lost Patreon. I just lost it. I might actually put a 24-hour or several hour, however long I can post it for, but a camera feed of the doll. You can watch it. If you see anything going on, let me know. But cool. For Patreon members, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight, guys. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Good night, everybody.
Good night.